What's going on, guys? Here on another episode of the ASARO Rebuild Protocol. I have a special guest today. I'm excited for this episode because I haven't had a long time meeting this gentleman and knowing him, but the growth that I've been able to see him in just about a year and a half has been incredible. So I can't wait to show you guys and share with you guys his story, but enough of me. Juan, we are in Revival Fitness in Santa Ana.
Yep.
How old are you?
31. Yeah, I know. I was going to say 20 something, but I'm like, nope.
We're in your location, but this isn't your first, this isn't your second, this is your third location.
Yep.
Now, before we get there, I want you to take me back, years back. What got you into fitness and what gave you the idea of opening up a gym?
So growing up, I actually grew up like as an overweight kid.
Okay.
And that was my biggest struggle ever. It's like mentally, it took a toll on me because I was getting bullied at school and at home. My nickname was Gordo.
Gordo.
Like, it just, I know, bro. Yeah, Mexicans are savages.
I'm surprised they didn't call you Flaco, because then you know that.
I would have liked that, maybe. Yeah. But no, dude. Yeah, that was one of my things. Was I grew up with that huge insecurity. And it wasn't until I started learning more, like I saw pumping iron for the first time, and I learned about, what actual exercise looked like and how we have the tools to be able to sculpt our own bodies. And I was really drawn towards that. But my biggest struggle mentally more than anything was the nutrition aspect.
Now, what's your nationality? Ethnicity?
Mexican and Guatemalan.
Mexican, Guatemalan.
Yeah.
So, our families, are you first generation, second generation?
Second generation.
Second generation.
Yeah.
So speaking from my experience with my family, they don't have the most understanding of proper nutrition. Mm-mm. With them, proper nutrition was comete todo en el plato.
Yeah.
Like whatever they would put on a plate, we had to finish.
My mom, to lose weight, like, hey, oh no, it's okay, just no cenes, and you'll be fine. Yeah.
Don't eat a whole ass meal.
Yeah, exactly.
But disregarding the cooking process, the ingredients, and the amounts of food, right? So, growing up, your mom's cooking, I'm sure you loved it, but it had a big toll when it come down to the body, right?
Yeah,
because
yeah.
It was reflecting being called gordo.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's something you don't realize because, your thing is like you have these emotional attachments with food. And it's the hardest, it's more mental than anything,
I would say too emotionally too, because even the emotional bond that mothers get in feeding us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right,
bro.
that's the way they show love.
Yeah. To me, once I started taking my nutrition more serious.
Around what age was that?
Around 13 years old.
Wow.
That's when my mom, it was like, every time I told her no to her cooking was the biggest, like,
heartbreak.
Heartbreak, everything, bro. And it was just, I did my best to try to educate her, but her things were more like, come on, like just don't eat more tortillas, things like that, you know what I mean? Just don't eat the breads and things like that.
13-year-old Juan already is looking into his nutrition, macros.
Yeah.
Did you do any types of sports growing up?
So it's funny, my dad was a soccer player.
Okay.
And he tried putting me in soccer like countless times, and I was not a soccer guy.
Was it the running?
It was the running, bro. And I'm not a team player.
Oh.
Even like with this, I have no partners. I'm not that I'm against it. I believe in it, but to me, I've always been drawn to solo sports. So what I actually did was, it's a pretty cool story. My mom is a hairstylist.
Okay.
And one day she came home from work and was like, "Hey, I cut the hair of this boxing coach. His gym is like 20 minutes away, but he says he's willing to pick you up at my hair salon." And the hair salon was like a mile from our house. And I grew up a little bit in Hesperia in the high desert. There was no sidewalks, it's just a dirt road, bro. So I had to walk a mile for my boxing coach to pick me up on a dirt road, and he'd take me to boxing practice and then drop me back off, and then in the middle of the night with coyotes,
walk back another
home.
mile
Yeah.
and risk getting eaten.
Yes, exactly. But that's what that's how bad I wanted it, you know? That's how bad I was tired of being overweight.
That's interesting to hear. So and we have a lot of similarities. My mom was a hairstylist too, Shadow
way.
Salon. So
Bro.
you and I, we're gonna talk more
Yeah.
because we have a lot of similarities in not only our upbringing, but then our interests
Yeah.
and our story, right?
Yep.
But going back to it, you mentioned that you like solo sports.
Yeah.
What was it about? You didn't like depending on other people?
Yeah, that's the thing. I've never been a person dependent, and I didn't have any traumatizing experiences or anything like that. But I just knew, like, I know what type of effort I'm willing to put into something.
Are they gonna match it?
Exactly, 100%. And that's always been my fear and my experience too. Like, truthfully, like, not a lot of people are willing to match your effort. That goes for relationships, business, everything, bro.
I can see exactly what you mean by that. I've had several partnerships. Not all of them have been fruitful.
Yeah.
And the ones that have in fact failed is exactly that. It's the fact that you know your work ethic, you know what you're willing to do, the sacrifice, how many times you're willing to say no to life and funsies.
Yeah.
And then others are they're not whether matching the same
Yeah,
consistency.
1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's a recipe for disaster for sure. On the other hand, I have had successful partnerships. Are they perfect? No. Is there constant?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But being able to get more things done at the same time because you have more coverage in a sense.
Yeah.
It's something special.
Yeah, absolutely.
But going back to it, so growing up, you're now boxing, you're watching your diet, you have a new mentor, your fitness mentor, coach.
Yeah, first
How
gym
long were you
owner I
working
met.
with him?
So I was with him, let me see, from 7th grade and 9th grade.
Okay, it's
So
about 2
a little
years.
good 2-3 years or so, yeah. You know what's actually cool is Ryan Garcia, that's his boxing coach out in Victorville, yeah.
Oh,
I know,
shit.
crazy little story there, yeah. So we went
Oh,
to
so
the
you-
same
you-
boxing gym. Yeah.
Okay, so
He probably started going right when we moved back down here.
Ah,
Yeah, I know, crazy.
how the past.
Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned you're out by the desert.
Yep.
How old were you when you came to the OC to Santa Ana?
So my sophomore year of high school, we moved back down here.
Okay.
And then that's when I got into wrestling.
Wrestling.
So
okay.
again, a solo sport, yeah, that I wanted to, battle to, and what boxing and wrestling taught me was the discipline, dude, and the work ethic. If you didn't go in there and bust your ass, someone was literally
gonna beat
your
your
ass. Yeah, and
Quite
I loved
literally.
it. Yeah, it's a love-hate, but I loved it.
Okay. So fast forward a little bit. What was your first experience when it comes to business?
So with business, what's funny was my close ones, like my close circle, they meant well, but they sort of were pushing me against doing my own business.
Because of the risk?
Because of the risk. My mom, growing up as a hairstylist, she grew up in those little like hole in the wall hair salons where it was like a lot of chisme, a lot of drama. She got to see like a lot of these hair salons fail. And it was like depending on the hairstylist that sometimes were stealing clients, things like that. And I had to understand that was her experience.
Right.
And I had to just stay aligned with my vision.
Stay true to your vision.
Exactly. And I knew what I was capable of, and I knew what this city specifically, we did not have an old school bodybuilding gym like this.
And what it needed.
Yes.
I want to touch on two points. One, the fact that you didn't allow someone else's fears and experience dictate whether or not you were going to take action for yourself. And number two, the fact that you saw an issue, a problem, a missing link in the community, and then that's what kind of got you going. Let's go back to your mom's experience. It's so interesting you say that because a lot of the times, other people's opinions and the fact they might even mean well.
Yeah, of course.
It doesn't come
absolutely.
from a nasty or ugly place.
Yes.
But I can only imagine putting myself in your mom's shoes, her being in the salon for years, seeing the struggle, seeing that life,
Yeah.
right? The risk and the success rate. And then you, her son, say, hey, I want to open my own business.
Yeah.
she's like, mijo, like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't want that for you.
Absolutely.
Right? And so I could see where her motherly protection's coming from. But at the end of the day, we have one life,
Yeah,
right? Like, why
exactly.
not be able to, whether or not we attempt things and fail forward?
So to break it down very, very simply, I knew that there was two ways to go. One way, stick in the shitty warehouse job that was not paying me well.
I was gonna ask you,
Not-
what was
yeah,
the other option? Okay,
not
so
matching,
shitty,
not
so-
matching my effort. You know what I mean? Like I was doing the work of three guys.
Getting paid the same, but maybe a little bit more.
A 25-cent raise every year. I knew that was option one, and that I'd rather die, dude. I'd rather die. Option two was, hey man, let's take this risk, bro.
Leap of faith.
Yes, leap of faith. The scariest thing of all was that I had my family depending on me, and I was the provider for my family.
Wow.
But I knew, like, hey, dude, let's not go 100% all in yet. So
Yeah.
what I did was I started with that meal prep business that I basically worked before work and after work and on the weekends. I did that struggle for about a year. I would get up Saturday at 1 in the morning, I kid you not, bro. And then I had a system, dude. I was a machine where I had my kitchen. I lived in my grandma's garage. I had a kitchen in there. I had my kitchen stove going. I had grandma's house's kitchen stove going. I had my grill. I had portable stovetops
Outside.
going. Bro, I was a machine, just cranking everything out. I'd be done cooking everything by 7 a.m. and then prepping, weighing everything out, prepping everything, doing some deliveries that same night, drop-offs at pickup locations, and then Sunday, more deliveries.
How
It was
old
a
were you when you
grind.
started the meal prep company, the service?
So when I started the meal prep service, I was 22 years old.
22.
Yeah, I was 22 years old. And again, like thankfully, due to my son, I knew I wanted a better life for them. You know, I wanted to provide more
Your
for
son.
them.
Okay, so we kind of jumped that part. So you have a son. How old is your son?
Yeah, so my son is now 11.
11.
A young parent. I had him when I was 19.
You were 19.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So that's again what I had
Big
that
driver.
driving factor. Yeah, where again I knew if I went this route, this was the type of lifestyle and sort of life I was going to give my family. I did not want that, you know?
I want to address something. There's nothing wrong with either or,
Oh, absolutely.
but you have to really look inward and ask yourself,
Yeah.
what do I want for myself?
Yeah.
Right? And it's going to be hard either way.
Absolutely.
There's-
Yeah,
there's gonna
choose
be-
your
there's-
hard.
Choose
Yeah.
your hard. There's
Yeah.
gonna be tireless nights, days that you want to just quit.
Yeah.
But choose which one you want for yourself
Yeah.
and which one has the highest, I would say, the highest risk reward, because
Absolutely.
on the factor that you can work that warehouse job
Yeah.
for 20 years and perhaps get to manager and get some type of 401k, if
Yeah.
that, right? Or that business could go under like this,
Yeah.
and then you're out.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, on the ladder, you depend on your work ethic, your vision, your consistency, your sacrifice, and you create something.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you have a son, you started the meal prep company at 22, you worked it for a year and a half, you said. How many clients did you get up to?
Dude, it was crazy. I think we got up to about like 100 or so clients weekly.
So weekly, each client was ordering about 10 meals a week?
Yeah, so our minimum, we had those packages, right? We had the 10 meal package, 15, 20 meal package. So minimum, it was 10 meals an order.
So minimum 1,000 meals a
1,000
week.
meals a week. Yeah, it was insane, bro.
For those that don't understand kitchen work,
Yeah,
it is some of the toughest. I would say construction's obviously out there because you're out of the elements. But when you're in the kitchen, you're inside elements as well,
Yeah.
because you might, a lot of these commercial kitchens, yeah, I have AC in my kitchen now.
yeah,
When we started Macrofit from our house,
Yeah.
we didn't have AC.
Yep.
We had fans and the breakers were flipping every so often.
I was in my garage
Garage?
with no windows, bro, no insulation. I was dying.
No
That's a part of the reason why I would get up at 1 in the morning too.
because it's temperature.
prevent the
It's
heat,
better
yeah.
cooking in the
Yeah, yeah,
night
yeah.
instead of the middle of the day.
Yep.
So you started the meal prep company, you have 100 clients, and you're crushing it then.
Yeah,
because
man.
Assuming this was, what year was this?
This was from 2018 up until 2023.
So let's say 2018, how much was your 10 meal order?
Shoot, dude. I think around like $7 a meal.
I was about to say
70 bucks.
$70 a meal.
Yeah.
Because that's around the same pricing that we were at the time.
Sweet.
From 2015 to 2017.
Yeah.
We were about $6.50 a meal. And
Yeah.
so we were doing, for a 10 meal order, about $65-$70, right?
Yeah.
Cash, right? And we were crushing it because the rent was already getting paid.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Electricity kind of goes up with all
Yeah,
the
of
utilities,
course.
all the
Yeah.
burners, right? No workers' comp, no lease, no other expenses,
Yep,
right?
yep.
No workers' employment tax, payroll tax, none of that.
Yeah.
So you were crushing it. How much? I mean, ballpark figure. How much were you making a month?
Bro, I remember, it's hard to put it monthly, but I remember weekly I was making like, it blows my mind away. I think 1 week we got up to like 10K in a week, dude. And my warehouse job was paying me $3,000 a month. Like, what the hell?
Right. So potentially making $40,000 a month. Obviously, it's not a profit because
Yeah, exactly.
there's expenses,
Yeah.
the cost of goods sold, the produce,
Yep.
all that time, right? But you had a really good taste of like, wow, like I can create something,
Yep.
get compensated for it, and you're helping other people live a healthier lifestyle.
Yeah, that was the
changing
thing, yep.
lives, getting them results.
Yeah.
Did that make you feel better as well? Was it worth
Yeah,
it?
yeah, because I did get into bodybuilding at 16,
Yeah.
and I was in competitive bodybuilding from 18 to about 21, and then I had to put that aside because I knew like this is not smart. Family reasons why, bodybuilding is a very selfish
Very
sport.
selfish.
So I had to do, but I wanted to do something that was still in the field of like my passion, bodybuilding, you know, and what
bodybuilders got to eat.
Exactly. Yep. And what was funny was that a lot of my clients were not even bodybuilders. It was just busy people that love the convenience.
The convenience, the fact that they were getting results without having to worry too much about the shopping, cooking, and cleaning.
Yeah.
Interesting that you say that. The bodybuilders weren't the ones that were your best clients,
Nope,
right?
Yep.
Was it because they were wanting things for cheaper, for free, sponsorships?
Yeah, low key. Yeah. And what I realized was like, I had to, same with this, you sort of have to gravitate and sometimes kind of pivot with your business, I had in mind bodybuilder meals at first, chicken, rice, steak, potatoes.
Very simple, very
Yes,
direct to the meal plans.
And then I think, I don't know, I'm not 100% sure if you guys do the same thing, but then I started to go more macro-based, more...
a little bit flavorful.
Yeah, I had to cater to
marinades.
my clientele,
Yes.
and then I started to do more like fun, interesting meals like chicken wraps, jalapeno turkey burgers, carne asada fries. That was more for the normal person, and they were still
that
eating
was
healthy.
still going to enjoy the meal, still way better than anything they're going to have out there.
Yeah,
The affordability, convenience, and still health-based results.
yep,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We had to pivot several times
absolutely.
because originally macro fit, we wanted to just simply focus on the macros,
Yeah.
make it the best macros possible. But with that, we understood quickly that doesn't taste the best, right? And meal prepping is already difficult as it is.
Yep,
So we have to give the clients things and items that they're going to enjoy eating, or else they're going to burn out.
exactly. Yeah,
And they're not stepping on stage. So for us to then just give them that, it's almost a punishment in a sense when we can give them a little bit more calories,
yeah,
a lot more taste profile, and then more consistency because they're going to keep ordering.
exactly.
And it's better for
Absolutely.
business as well.
Yeah, exactly.
No, absolutely. So I understand, man, do you have pictures, videos of your layout at home?
Yeah, yeah.
I'd love to see it
Yeah, it
because
was crazy.
it's bringing me flashbacks because I
Yeah.
know the struggle.
I had my son's bedroom. I basically he no longer had a bedroom, bro. I had to put racks in there to store like our pans, spices,
the
sauces.
toppers,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
bags.
Crazy, bro, crazy.
But you got it done.
Yeah, yeah.
And you made it worth with what you had.
Yep.
Right? Too many times people want it, they want it all. They want the perfect layout,
Yes.
the funding.
Yeah,
They want everything already how they envision from step 0 to step 10.
yeah.
Whereas like, no, you have to make do with what you have. And you have to be resourceful.
Yeah, and the funny thing too is the excuses you hear. Bro, I had millions of excuses. I never worked in a restaurant, not even a McDonald's, bro. I just worked in warehouses.
Yeah.
but I knew how to cook for myself, and for me, that was enough to get going. Did I make mistakes along the way? Bro,
Absolutely.
thousands of them. I've given people like undercooked chicken at some points, you know?
Yeah.
Like, bro, like, but that's the thing is like, I was never scared of messing up because I knew like you learn from those mistakes. You learn from those mistakes, and those mistakes are just at the end of the day, like feedback that can make you better.
It's gonna make you better.
Yes, absolutely.
But too many times people are too fearful
Yeah.
of even stepping forward and falling,
Yeah.
and thus they'll never learn. They'll never improve.
And I went against everything that I was as a person, bro. I was super shy and timid.
Introverted.
Very, very introverted. I always kept to myself. And I knew that growth requires stepping out of those comfort zones. And that's something, I'll die on. Like, you have to be uncomfortable.
Did you have anyone that was helping you, like guiding you, mentoring you? Because your mom was a stylist, but she was working under someone,
Yeah.
right? Dad, was he in the picture?
No, not really, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically grew up with like a single parent.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I basically raised my 2 younger brothers.
Wow.
And then
And then your son came into the picture.
yeah,
So you had
exactly.
3 boys.
Yeah, I know. So then I learned that like, hey, dude, you have to hold yourself up to a standard because you have mouths to feed. I didn't have that luxury to just sit on the couch
Piss
all day.
off. Just enjoy your early 20s.
Exactly.
And
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
fuck around.
Yep. My 20s was just
Work.
Yep.
So you were meal prepping before work, going to work, meal prepping after, doing deliveries.
Yeah.
For a year and a half, 2 years.
Yep.
Wow.
I know.
Where did revival come?
So it's my first experience was I helped a friend. So I got with this friend when COVID happened. When COVID happened and everything got shut down, I lost my pickup location for my meal preps.
Okay. What was that location?
It was inside of a mall, a main place mall here in
Oh,
Santa Ana. Yeah,
okay.
inside of a supplement store. I lost that pickup location. And again, bro, like we have to make these pivots. We have to learn what to do. So a friend posted a little gym that was open, like a little tiny little 800 square foot warehouse. And I'm like, yo guys, would you guys be interested? I'll provide my fridge. Let this be a pickup location. And then the guy goes, come in, like, let's talk. I go and I actually knew the guy. He actually signed me up for my first LA Fitness gym membership. I'm like, what the hell? You're doing this, bro?
So he was a sales rep at LA Fitness years back, signed you up, and then now he's owning his own 800 square foot
And I'm like,
gym.
yo, dude, this is legit. And then I got to see this guy grow from that little gym into a bigger one. And I helped him move, and I saw sort of the behind the scenes process of it all. And it really opened my eyes. Not to say it was easy by any means, but to me, it
Made it a
looked
reality.
Yeah, and it looked very doable, And
Especially because you're passionate about the sport.
Yeah.
You love the equipment,
Yeah.
the people, the atmosphere, so you're attracted to it.
Exactly, and thanks to my meal prep like clientele, I felt sort of confident going into like, hey, I feel like I could kind of push those guys into signing up for my gym.
I mean, you're already feeding them,
Yeah.
and they're local,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
And so like, hey guys, if we open up a gym
Yep.
in the area, I have about 100 leads.
Yeah. So one thing that's also cool that I always forget, I had a backyard gym, dude. So when
Okay.
COVID happened and everything shut down, that was like, dude, I love equipment hunting on OfferUp, Marketplace. And that's where like the inspiration came. But I had my little backyard gym where I just, I still was working out and I wanted a gym for myself. But then I learned quick, like I remember a friend was like, yo, dude, how much to go work out at your gym? And I'm like, what the hell? You're
I
willing
can
to
charge? Are you willing to pay me?
I was like, you're willing to pay me? Bro, fuck yeah. So then I
20 bucks a month.
Yeah, exactly. So no, what I had to do is because I needed because of COVID, I wanted to break people up.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, bro, $10 an hour. And then this guy started telling people, And then what was cool was I worked a deal out with my grandma. I was like, hey, grandma, let me do this. And all the money I make, I'll give it to you. I just want a place to work out, So my grandma was loving it, bro. She was banking it. Yeah. And I was loving it too, having my own little home gym.
I love the fact that you didn't do it for the money.
Yeah.
You just simply did, I want to have my own space.
Yep.
To have your own backyard gym, hunt down some equipment.
Yep.
You have your meal prep company. You have your clients. You have your
Yep.
friends. Your buddies coming to work out with you. You're living the dream.
I know.
I mean, in a sense,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
At what point did you say, wow, I can actually do this bigger scale?
So what happened was during this time when I'm seeing it all freaking, thanks to God, it all lined up perfectly.
The perfect storm.
You know, because COVID happens, gym shut down. To me, it was kind of a no-brainer where, hey, I feel like people are going to start gravitating to more of the private gyms after this whole COVID thing blows off, to have more privacy, more exclusion. So I was like, bro, I feel like right now is
more
the perfect
elevated
time.
experience.
Absolutely. So what happened, thankfully, was my one of my really good friends, my client too, Ceci. She was my first ever client. She was the one that told me, because I used to train her at 24, and they told me, hey, dude, we're gonna kick your ass out if you keep. And she told me, don't worry, Juan. When you open up your own gym one day, we'll train there. And so she always believed in me.
She's just deceptioning you.
Absolutely. So then when I'm doing backyard gym, I'm seeing this guy, how he goes about opening up his gym and how he's doing it. At this time, this old school bodybuilding gym right by my house, I'm driving by, I drove by it all the time. I drive by and I see a for lease sign. I'm like, no way, these guys close. And I was like, bro, I always wanted to even be a member at that gym, but their hours suck, dude. They were open, I think, from 7 to 9, Monday through Thursday. Fridays closed at 6. So Saturdays
it wouldn't
closed
be a
at
good
2.
fit.
Yeah, Sundays totally closed. So to me, I was like, bro, this would be an awesome gym if they were more accessible.
Right.
And at the time, I'm like, dude, let me see what's up with this spot. So I had no idea, bro, what it took.
Right.
But I'm like, let me try.
Let me go ask.
I see a phone number on there. I'm gonna call and ask, like, hey guys, how does this work? Like, I'm interested in taking over the space. Mm-hmm. And they're like, you know what, dude? Here's the code to the padlock. You could open up, check it out yourself. I'm like, dude, no way. I walked in there and these guys had left, not equipment, but they left everything else behind, like their
mats.
Front desk, not mats, but front desk was still set up, even some mirrors.
Okay.
Fans, they had their speaker system still set up. So to me, I was like, yo, dude, I'm just going to paint this out, put some floor and equipment. But I was like, I don't know. And again, things lined up perfectly. I called up the guy that had equipment in San Diego. I'm like, hey, dude, do you have stuff in stock right now? Or like, what's it looking like? He's like, bro, in about 2 weeks, I'm getting a big ass container with brand new equipment. I'm like, dude, this is all lining up perfectly, you know? So we got all that going. And then, so we talked about like city struggles, right? I felt confident going into this location because there was a gym there prior.
It was already existing.
What I didn't know was that it was not zoned for a gym at all. So I don't know. I found out later that one of the guys for the city was a member there, and that's how they got away with it. But I get in there and last only 2 months until the city cracked down. Yeah, they cracked down, and nope, you cannot operate in here. And my landlord he was like, look, dude, I'll cut you off your lease. I'm going to keep your deposit, but you guys got to move out. And again, I was in a point where I could have just folded the towel, called it quits.
Yeah.
But I don't know, bro. Like God, I had this like calling. Like I swear, God put it in me. Where like, dude, just keep going, keep going. And thankfully, I did have success there quick. So I was like, dude, let me just find another location ASAP, and then let's get this going again. This was when the struggles came in. I found a location 2 weeks later.
How far away?
Got it going, but during that time, the corporate gyms, 24, EOS, they started opening up the outside areas, and people started to sign back up. So all those members, I maybe put in like a third of them. So I lost a lot of members, and I struggled. It was a huge struggle, but I had a 1-year lease in that location. And then I learned quickly there that location was not it.
Temporary.
But thankfully, again, like failures are lessons. And I learned what I needed to do to make that location better, to find a better location. And I learned that accessibility, like parking, being off the freeway, parking, having an open space, like things like that are huge. So then again, this location where I was at for a year in downtown Santa Ana.
You're saying that location gave you a lot of clarity as to what to look for.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So you were only there for 1 year.
Yeah.
That's a quick lease to go in there, to move equipment, to even try to do anything for just 12 months. That's not enough time.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. But what I'm telling you, like, I still had that, like, I I had that vision that I was not gonna let go of, bro. I knew Santa Ana was missing a home, like a bodybuilding, like old school gym, like what I had and what I had visioned. And keep in mind, bro, I did not make a single dollar in that location. It was a year full of struggles, but thanks to my meal prep business, I was still able to, it was keeping me afloat, and I still had that cushion, and I was like, dude, let's keep this going, you know? Thankfully I secured my, third spot, and now in there, it checked every box, bro. It had the open floor plan. It had plenty of parking. It had its own parking lot. That's the one you went to.
That's for the one I met.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, this is it, you know? And then thank God that was the one that like got the ball rolling.
How long were you in that location for?
We were in that location from 2022 up until 2025.
Okay, so 3 years.
Yes,
okay.
3 years.
Gotcha.
Almost the 4 years too.
Almost.
Yeah.
So interesting enough, you mentioned how you enjoy equipment hunting, right?
Yep.
How we met was because my business partner William, he loves the equipment hunting himself, and so he found a piece that you were selling, right? And then he messaged you and said, hey, we're interested in checking it out.
I love that story too, because I've been in that spot Will's in a lot of times where like, yo, dude, I got this guy that's like willing to get it too. I'm sorry, like let me honor this guy. And I've been the guy like Will. Well, how much is he paying? I'll pay you $500 on top of that. I've been that guy.
I'll go pick it up right now.
If I love something, I gotta have it, and that's why I have a lot of respect for him, for you guys. You guys know the worth, and you guys, I hope to God your members appreciate that, because that's things that they don't see. They just see a brand new piece of equipment, but they don't see that, hey, you had a struggle, bro. You had to maybe pay more than asking price. You had to drop whatever the heck you were doing that day, pick up heavy equipment.
I remember you mentioned, because when we met, you mentioned in regards to some of the equipment, you even would do some buyers a favor to breaking it down. Because some of the stuff is plate loaded, right? It's already stacked. And so to disassemble it, the stacks, leave it out.
I had to learn a lot of things, bro. A lot of backaches have taught me a lot.
But that's the chance we got to meet, and ever since then we've been in touch, and you know we've had a much stronger relationship ever since. And now here we are telling your story.
I know.
So in what was the third location where we met, right? No, that's any fourth location.
I know, right? Yeah.
How many members did you have there?
So there, we actually got up to about, in the peak of it, like 300 members.
300 members.
Yeah, but that was enough to thankfully in 2023, that was when I stopped the meal prep business.
I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
So 2023, you're at 300 members. What was your price point at the membership?
We were, so in the very beginning when we opened up, we were at $65 a month.
Okay.
And then 2024 was when I raised it up to $90 a month.
Gotcha.
That was when we added, like, dude, I invested probably hundreds of thousands of dollars into more equipment.
Yeah.
And I really felt confident in, like, bro,
value,
this is
right?
You're
bringing.
This is a $90 a month gym, 100%.
Better operating hours too, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I know.
So you're at 300 members with the split book of business from price averaging from 60 to 90, right? How much were you generating revenue then?
Let me see if I could remember, but I want to say
if we're doing, let's say, an average of, let's say, $75, right? Call it even. 300 at 75, roughly about 22,000.
Yeah, exactly. Some months were more. Day passes helped. Beverages.
Store,
exactly.
Apparel.
So, exactly. And that's one thing that's also helped me too is the day passes, bro. Thankfully, it's been where we got to be known as that like bodybuilding gym to go to. So when people go to the muscle contest shows here in Anaheim every weekend, you're getting day passes to come to my gym, and it's been awesome.
That is awesome. I can see how that would bring a good, consistent wave of business your way.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that'll help. That'll help to reinvest. It'll help to maintain, and it'll help to put some money in the pocket to return that investment.
Course. Yeah.
So you're making about $22,000. At what point did you say, okay, the meal prep company, I think it's time?
Bro, I think I think it was in 2023, like later 2023, when I realized, like, sadly, the stress that this is bringing me, it is not worth the money. It was good money, don't get me
Of
wrong,
course.
but I knew that the stress that it was taking out on me and the time it was taking away from my little one.
Family.
I value that time so much more than anything. That's why I wanted to pursue entrepreneurship in the first place, to have that availability for my
To
son.
buy back your time.
Exactly. Yeah, that's priceless to me, you know? So when I gave that up, it was such a huge relief, and it gave me more time to focus on the gym. And that was priceless in itself, too.
You competed. How many times have you competed?
So I competed for when I was 18, 20, and then 21.
Okay.
And then I took that like break, and it was funny. I got overweight during that time, and like people were like, "Yo, this is overweight gym owner," but I'm like,
Wait,
"No,
you own a meal prep company and you're a gym owner
yeah,
and you're overweight?
I had to put my thing way to the side, you
Yeah.
know, and then I got back into competing when it was funny, when I got with my coach, it started off as like a recomp. Bro, I dieted for 14 months from 2023, and then I didn't compete till April of 2024.
That's a long prep,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. But it taught me like the lifestyle. And it showed me, like, again, the value in nutrition, bro, where like no matter how busy we are, we can make time to cook those meals and be on plan.
I always tell people, no matter the amount of success, the financial success, the renown, the status, our health is the biggest commodity. It's
Yeah.
the biggest. It's the most important thing that we have in life.
Absolutely.
I recently was ill for a while. I was bedridden for about 7 days. Could not get out of bed.
Yeah.
And nothing else matters.
Yep.
So we cannot take our health for granted.
Yeah, health and time.
Health and time. Health and time. Absolutely. So you've competed. The reason why I asked is because a lot of people, especially the trainers, some of the young athletes, for whatever reason, believe that, oh, if I step on stage, if I compete, my business is gonna
Yeah.
10x.
Yeah.
Is that did you?
No, that's totally not the case.
It's not
No,
true
no, yeah.
whatsoever. It's a myth. Let me
Yeah.
just break it to you right now.
I know.
It'll actually suffer.
Yeah.
Your business will suffer simply because you don't have the mental capacity, the focus
Yeah.
to work on the business. You're simply working on the body, and you're just trying to get through prep,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
The pictures are gonna be cool, but there's so many other competitors nowadays too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That you have to really focus on how you can break through the noise, how you can pierce through that noise.
On top of that, from what I've seen firsthand too, I'm sure you've seen it, is a lot of the people that we see that are very successful in this fitness industry are not even actively competing. A lot of them are the influencers that provide good content, things like that.
They've gotten a lot more of their financial security through contracts,
Yep.
through sponsorships,
Yeah.
right? Through supplements, other apparels, right?
Yeah.
But it's the fact that they're pumping out so much content through the process,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Before, during, and after, that's what helped them generate their person,
Yep.
their online status, right?
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask that question because it's not going to help you
No.
whatsoever.
Maybe, but it's probably
What I would say helped more so is the people that you meet,
yeah.
the network.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely true.
That is
Yeah.
what you want to take away and focus on.
Yeah.
But you don't have to necessarily compete. You just have to be around it.
Yes.
Right? Go to the conventions, go to the shows,
Yep.
shake hands,
Yeah.
host athletes.
Yeah.
Right? Have them come to your gym while
Yeah.
they're competing. Extend yourself, and then
Yeah.
you'll be able to create the relationships.
Yeah, and to me, like, let me make it very clear. Like, the only reason why I love competing is this is why I wanted to have this. Like, bro, I'm making little 16-year-old me so proud. You know what I mean? Like, living this lifestyle. And on top of that, I love the structure it gives me. Don't get me wrong, those last 3 weeks, those are when you're really just dragging through.
Yeah.
But everything before that, like my focus is very, it gets me up in the mornings. I love getting up at 5 a.m., knocking my cardio out. I get work done at that time.
The structure.
Yeah, the structure. And it's obviously nice too, because I have witnessed it. Like, people will look at you funny if you're an out of shape gym owner. You know, it's nice when you're walking into a grocery store and like,
Compliments.
yeah, and then what the heck? Why are you in? You know, and it's, oh hey, I own a gym. Come check it out.
That makes
You know,
sense.
yeah, exactly. Uh-huh.
Opposed to you're overweight.
Yeah.
Oh, come check out my gym. Like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
What kind of gym is this?
Yeah, well, exactly. Like Planet Fitness.
So we're here at your new location, and I have to bring this up because last time I saw you, you didn't have that scar.
Oh yeah.
So I want to hear the story.
I know. So it's you know what, bro? What I love is like it's nothing but a blessing. Surprisingly, almost dying. But so it was literally right here. Like we're probably like 15 feet away from it.
I saw the video.
Yeah,
I saw the footage that you
right.
sent.
I sent you guys a
It's-
bit.
But give me a breakdown as to what was happening.
It's like the craziest Final Destination type thing where me and my little brother, we had already put up 8 mirrors at the time. And it's crazy looking back because the suction cup did give out on us very slightly, but nothing happened. We were just like, oh shit, let's just readjust it. We'll be fine.
Repressurize it.
Yes, and then as you saw in the video, that was not the case. As soon as we went up with this 6x8 mirror that probably weighs about 300 pounds, the suction cup gave out, mirror shattered, and half of it just sliced my head open. But why I say it was like a Final Destination thing was me and my little brother had just switched spots. So it would have been him,
Yeah.
and he's taller than me, and he went forward. It probably would have sliced his neck. So God works in mysterious ways because thankfully it was me. It was the scariest thing ever. When it hit me, I'm like, my glasses had fallen off, and for like half a second, I'm like, where are my glasses? So I see all my blood gushing down, and I looked in the mirror, and half my skin was open. It was right on the temple. I grabbed that piece of skin, put pressure on it. We rushed straight to the hospital. Me and my little brothers. My brother's calling 911 saying we were stabbed. He was freaking out. Yeah, like, the cops showed up while I'm getting stitched up. They're like, "You weren't stabbed, right?" And I'm like, "No, I'm sorry." Like, a mirror happened.
But I mean, in the heat of the moment, the adrenaline,
Yeah.
right? The fear, the panic,
and you know what's
the shock
funny?
factor.
The funniest thing was like, don't get me wrong, I was like, dude, I don't want to die. But mostly I was like, fuck, man, I'm not going to see the gym finish. Like, I've been working so hard, and I'm not going to be able to see. I
gotta shake your hand because as an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
I know the feeling, and you sound like my brother because that's exactly what he would say because he's a creative. He's the one that puts everything together, and so if he wouldn't be able to see the final project,
Yeah,
like right, the
absolutely.
final
Yeah.
touches, the final product, then
Yeah.
he'd be very disappointed.
I know.
But scary moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw the video. It was gory.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
So
and it's so
literally-
quick.
Yeah.
It was a split.
Yeah, and I've done
it was
all
a
the.
second.
I've taken off mirrors, putting them back up at every single one of my gym locations. So I thought nothing.
There was nothing
of
new
it.
of it. There was nothing.
Yeah, it was just a freak accident, you know.
Because the suction it gave out, so then the mirror fell slightly.
Yeah,
it
shattered.
It moved enough in the vibration
Yeah,
at the top.
yeah.
The vibration led up to the top, shook it, and then it snapped off from the top corner, right? Mm-hmm. And then fell over.
Yep. Yeah, and just sliced me right open. I have permanent nerve damage. I can't lift this side. So I got free Botox. I'm telling you, bro, I'm staying positive. I got free Botox, for life right here. But during that moment, I'm like, you know, obviously like, hey, dude, live through this. But
Yeah.
again, it was killing me knowing like I'm not going to see this finished product. But dude, why I say it was such a big blessing was, man, like it gives me chills. Like my family came together, all of our gym members came together, and we're like, don't worry, Juan, we'll move the gym for you. This happened on a Thursday. I got surgery Friday, and then Saturday the gym was moving, and I was doing none of it. My brother was helping move. Members were helping move. It was awesome. So as soon as I got discharged from the hospital, I came straight here, bro, with a freaking drain all bandaged up. But I knew like I needed to be here and be a part of it, you know. And thankfully, like, I'm living proof of like, dude, no excuses. Like, get your shit done, dude. I was in here working with a freaking drain in my head, you know.
And that's more of what people don't see.
Absolutely.
That's more of the sweat, tears, blood
A lot
that
of blood.
goes, a lot of it,
Yeah.
that goes in making your ideas, right, a reality.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what it takes.
Yep, I know.
And it's a beautiful thing. And I know exactly what you're talking about when the community comes together, and that's all because you've done an amazing job in offering them a home.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
To come together, what we call a third space.
Yes.
To come.
It's a home away from home. I'm sure your members feel that way too. And it's awesome. I'm sure you feel the same way. We provide such a safe space, and for the hour or two that someone's in here, this is their safe space, and this is their sacred time. And it's amazing knowing we're providing that for people.
Yeah, and we do our best to upkeep it,
Yes,
right? The cleanliness, the organization, making sure things are where they need to be.
The feedback, all these things. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why we have to also be very stern when certain members or guests don't upkeep.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
They make a mess.
Yep.
They don't re-rack. So I've seen some of your videos.
Yeah, bro.
You do official call-outs.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'll go to the footage and be like, hey, so-and-so.
And that shit works.
I have a question now. So you're in business, and even though we try our best, right? Because clearly you care. You're willing to die for this place, right? Have you had bad experiences with certain members?
Yeah. So thank God it's been very, very few.
Right.
But yeah, absolutely we have. And to me, I'm a nice dude, bro, and I believe in second chances. But when it comes to this place that I've, literally almost died for, I don't play around, bro. So when it comes to people people may see it as something as small as just not re-racking their weights, but to me, it is mad disrespectful for the next person. We have all shapes and sizes that come in here, and it just, you never know, bro. And to me, it's just a matter of respect and upkeep, and at the end of the day, I have no tolerance for things like that. I will not kick somebody out. I do understand. I'm also gracious. I understand sometimes people, they may be in here fighting demons and mental struggles that
life might be lifing.
Exactly, yeah. But I will give that private little message before I put someone on blast. Don't get me wrong. I'll give people that little hey dude, ponte las pilas, So I am also gracious when it comes to that. But one thing I have no tolerance for is things like theft or treating members in here poorly. I have had to kick somebody out because, come on, bro, we weren't born yesterday. When someone's grabbing something from the fridge and constantly forgetting to pay for it, that's stealing, bro. That's stealing.
And you have an honor policy.
Yes,
you have
exactly.
a trust policy because
uh-huh.
the first time that I visited, I know you were running some errands.
Yeah.
So then I went in there, and then I didn't see anyone in the front. And so you just had the sign like, hey, grab whatever you want, just here's a QR code, or you just pay cash, put it on the drawer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, that's awesome. and yeah, I grabbed the drink, and then I grabbed one of the donuts, and then I put the cash on the drawer.
Yeah.
You had other members too looking because I was a new face.
Yeah, that's one thing. Yep,
I was a new face, so I did see some other wandering eyes, which is great because they were holding the place down.
Yep.
But no, I completely understand that if people are abusing that, you're gonna have to step in.
Yeah, and to me, if I catch someone stealing, awesome, bro. Guess what? I just kicked somebody out of my gym who could potentially be stealing from one of our members. And thank God.
That's an amazing way to look at it.
Yes, absolutely. So to me, cool. I lost $4 on our energy drink, but even more important, I lost someone who could potentially harm my business.
Someone's property, a bag, a phone.
Yes, exactly,
interesting enough,
bro.
I've only had one situation at Matt House where there was theft, and it wasn't a member. It was the fact that my front desk allowed someone to come use a restroom.
I'm not surprised.
And we have a zero. I don't know why it was allowed. It's not part of our policy. We're very stern with that to protect our members, because even myself, I'll leave my personal items out because we have that trust in the community. And we've never had any issues. This one time, someone walked in, they went to the restroom, and then it just so happened that someone had left their phone in the restroom. So they took the phone with them when they left.
Yeah.
And so when the member said, hey, no, I left it in the phone in the restroom, sure enough, we checked the cameras, they walked in and left.
Okay.
Luckily, interesting enough, about an hour later, we called the phone. The phone was at the police department.
What the hell?
It was the most bizarre thing. I don't know how or what it was there.
Okay.
But someone answers, like, oh, the phone's here at Bell PD. Come pick it up.
Okay, yeah,
and we're like, oh, awesome.
Well, thank God. Thank
yeah.
God,
But I understand that. But as the owner, you have to protect the environment.
And that's the risk I take operating the way I operate.
Yeah.
Bro, another crazy story is I've had 15-pound dumbbells stolen from my gym.
What?
The thing that sucks, man, was we didn't find out till 2 weeks later, bro. We just kept assuming someone was using them. Maybe someone didn't re-rack them or something.
You're like, where are they?
We found out 2 weeks later where it was already too late to go back on footage.
Yeah.
But
payback. Yeah.
And that is a thing too, is we run a tight system for reasons that people may not see like that, someone may come in here and steal someone's property, steal our property, or even safety, bro. I'm sure you've seen on the news a guy that went in and I think killed like an ex-girlfriend at a gold gym. Like, we have to think, as business owners, we have to think worst case scenarios sometimes.
We do, and sometimes the members don't see it. And it's not their job to see it.
Yeah.
In regards to the why, right? If then they want an explanation, then we could.
Oh yeah, gladly.
But we do have to look at things at a different scope.
Yeah.
For liability purposes, worst case scenarios, to protect them and others as well.
Yeah.
Right? And our investment as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Now, with your space, because you have a different model with this type of spacing, you have open gym, but then you also have PT, you have trainers here that do private training, right?
Yeah.
So how's been your experience working with that model?
So it has its ups and downs like anything. But what's very nice is I've heard from gyms that are strictly only PT, where they come across like PT drama where someone's stealing clients, or this trainer slept with this person's things like that.
Right.
And so what's really nice about us is it may sound weird, but I just look at it as like extra income. I don't charge them much, but what I do make sure is that it's quality people in here. So all of our trainers are very kind, respectful, and they give it that family feel. Thankfully they're always willing to help out, whether it's with members or people walking in the door. And what's nice is that a lot of our trainers are like part-time. Okay. So there's no ever like mingling. We had a Christmas dinner one year where some of our trainers had never even met before.
Like,
you
train here?
Literally, so it's a weird system, but it weirdly works as well. Yeah. So with that said, like, we are more like membership based.
Gotcha.
And to me, like, not that I don't prioritize the trainers, but members are the breadwinner here, so I do always have to keep them in mind more than anything.
Yeah.
But it's a very good balance, and thankfully we've never had any conflict.
What would you say would be the percentage of business? How many trainers do you have?
We have just about 8 trainers.
8 trainers,
yeah.
Okay. And they're all mostly part-time?
Mostly part-time, yeah. And then, actually, one of the trainers is my wife too, so I don't know if she counts, but yeah. Yeah.
Technically?
Right, yeah.
So you have 8 trainers, let's assume part-time. What would be a safe number of clientele that you can say that your training department brings?
So what's one thing that we're gonna start doing right now is we're actually going to be limiting clients per session. And one thing you have to.
You have to.
And that's a little problem we've sort of ran into, where it sort of looks like if you're a boot camp, and sort of like establishing like your dominance in an area.
And then they take up certain space.
Yes, and not that it's their intention, but it's sort of sometimes maybe not welcoming to someone, where if you have a shy person like myself, and I want to use, let's say, a certain
piece of equipment around them.
and then I see like things on it and a lot of
You'll
that.
be less likely to
Yes,
approach.
exactly. Yeah. And I never want that. I want it to be a welcoming space. And thankfully, we have never had a complaint.
Yeah.
But it is something that could lead to one, and I never want to,
get to that.
Yes.
And it's always best to be proactive instead of reactive.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we have that same concern, and we've had that issue. So for us, and depending on obviously the square footage, the amount of equipment that you have.
Yes.
What has worked for us has been a limit of 4 people per training session, right? Depending on the space, you might have to work with 3 or 2, but that you would have to limit it.
Yeah.
Only because then it does give it like there's like, including the trainer. Imagine there's
Exactly.
there's 7 people.
Yeah. Absolutely.
In a little area. That's taking up 6 pieces of equipment.
Yep. Absolutely.
And it could be very disruptive.
Yeah. And again, to me, my core value is always quality over quantity, bro.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it will happen, but let's say we lose a trainer for that. Unfortunately, like I'm not gonna sweat that because I know it's gonna be a better experience for the gym as a whole.
Yeah.
I actually in the past did have to get rid of 2 trainers. I actually didn't even kick them out, but it was a situation where they basically like dominated over a area I had. I had a squat rack rig area, and they brought in their own gym equipment, but sort of like closed it off. and it was giving a bad member experience where members did not feel comfortable and felt like they were working out in their space. And it's funny, at the time, losing 2 trainers like that did take a big hit on me financially, but I knew that was going to close doors for more members and give the current members not a good experience, you know? So I had to take that short-term loss for a long-term gain.
And it's, I always tell people when it comes to business or anything in life, we have to have references.
Yes.
We have to take, we make decisions based on certain past references.
Yeah.
And it does sway our decision making at points, right? So going back to it, since then, you say you don't want to allow that the trainer book of business to take too much of the overall business, right?
Yeah.
I understand that because I know, to tell you a little story, so where we are now, it used to be a different gym. And in that gym, they had classes. It was more of an open gym style and classes.
Yeah.
The problem that then that gym faced was that over time, there was particular trainers that became popular, right? That would drive more clientele because of their classes. So then when the time came, that trainer would look at the situation and say, hey, like, I'm bringing a lot of business here. Let's partner up. Like, give me a sense of more of a partnership. And then the owner said, you know what, I can't. Like, there's still a lot of other costs associated. Like, this isn't just all profit.
Yeah.
And then the trainer said, okay, not an issue. Not an issue. I'm just gonna go open up shop down the street. And that's what he did.
Damn.
And he took 20, 30, 40% of the book of business.
Yep.
Oh, you don't want to be over leveraged in any situation. So you do have to be very mindful and allow certain, members from the actual business, from the trainers.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Because I've expanded my trainer book of business this year because we've expanded double the space. So there's a certain percentage that we're working off of that I want to hit as a goal, but it's the same thing that I've heard from other trainers, other owners, is that the trainers, because of other experiences, are the most difficult thing in operating the gym.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that an experience that you've had as well?
Yeah, and so again, like, I could go the route where I try to pursue more trainers. Don't get me wrong, financially, that probably would bring in more money.
Yeah.
But again, it's something that I could see more issues coming with that. And to me, it's not worth the headache, At least right now, thank God, what I have has been working, If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah.
No, I love that.
Yep.
So what's next for Revival? You've just opened up your new location, 2026.
Yep.
Right? What's the goal here?
Definitely another location, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely want to start outreaching more.
Okay.
My best friend does want to open up in Vegas,
Oh,
and I think that would be just freaking awesome,
that'd be
bro.
phenomenal.
Yeah, because I know there's Vegas has tons of gyms already.
It's the mecca. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a big mecca
no,
place for
yeah, it's
fitness.
huge. But I think that it is missing something that what we have, which is I feel successful, which is a gym where you feel at home and you feel like you have your second family in there. A gym full of positive people, and that I promise you will never fail. You know. So I feel like if we could bring that to Vegas, where I feel like at least from what I've seen, you know, obviously I'm not a Vegas resident,
Yeah.
but at least from what I've seen out there, it's more content and like Instagram grabby.
Yeah.
And I want something that's not that. I want something that's like come home, you know, come to your second home,
Yeah.
you know, and have that family there. And obviously still have the competition and have everyone feel welcome, you know?
Talking about competition, there's new gyms opening up
Oh, yeah.
left and right. I mean, you've been in the fitness industry for over 10 years,
Yep.
right? When it comes to the meal prep company to now Revival Fitness, what's your take with there being a new black and white gym opening up every other month?
Bro, so one thing that I will die on is like, how's that saying go? You can copy the recipe, but the sauce won't taste the same. So I feel like what I've done in here, like, bro, good luck. I'll tell you a funny story, dude. One gym literally opened up down the street from my old location. I knew it, bro, and I say it in a very humble way, but I was like, bro, good luck. Like, you don't want to do that next to my gym. But I knew that going off of not from
Is that arrogance?
no, it is not arrogance, but it's off of what I've built and knowing, bro, good luck doing what I've done here, which is drive out and pick up these machines. You know, dude, I've gone to Texas, Arizona, everywhere, bro. You know, so like, good luck trying to do that, dude. Like, it's damn near impossible. And competition's always a good thing too.
I second that, and I stand firmly on the fact that the more competition that there is, it will drive a better version of ourselves.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I welcome it.
What,
right?
yeah, like when we look at like great athletes, it's because they had great competition.
Because you looked at them and
yeah,
you saw
they set those like standards a little higher, and it's that.
it pushed you.
Yeah,
It pushed
absolutely.
you to work a little bit harder, wake up a little bit earlier, stay a little bit later,
Yeah.
right? Now, this gym opened up down the street from you, right? Did you have any issues with them copying you or reaching out to your members?
No, so
Anything
you know
in that?
what? Thankfully, no. I do know I did have some members. And it's funny, like again, like I knew it, but I did have some members that I knew got like a day pass here or there, and were like, nah, this is not it.
Back
you know?
ver.
Yeah, this is not it.
Yeah.
And to me, like it's the equipment we have and like everything in here is hand selected, just like you guys. Well, you know, you guys know your shit, you know. So you know, like, bro, training like good equipment, like who doesn't want to do that, you know? So it's the equipment we have, but it's also the atmosphere we built.
And what makes Revival Fitness?
I think
If you can tell me, if you
yeah.
give me your elevator pitch of what makes you you, and you can't say the equipment or the community, what would you say?
Oh, I want to say it's the comfortability. You know what I mean? Where if you're someone who's coming from all walks of life, if it's your first gym ever in here, you're not going to feel like intimidated. You're not going to feel unwelcome. If you're an experienced, seasoned bodybuilder, fuck, this is paradise, you know?
It'll fit right at home.
So I feel like that's what makes us different. Is we're not a strict bodybuilding only. You know,
Tailoring to
yes, and that like kind of that drew me to what we did here, which is as much as it killed me. I took down the bodybuilder pictures.
I don't see them.
Yeah. So and I had a conversation with a member about that this morning. Was I want to make everyone feel welcome here, and I don't want to have, not that the bodybuilding stigma is like wrong by any means, but I want to be open to everyone. For example, we have a trainer that's also a Pilates instructor. So a lot of her clients
From that
had
world.
that, yeah, they had that idea of us being this like huge, like full of meathead gym, and they walked in here and they feel much more comfortable. And if you look, bro, a lot of the gym is more women than men at some points. Yeah, I won't say all the time, but a lot of the.
I agree.
So it's really good that we're welcoming to women, whether you're a competitive bodybuilder or a little Pilates girly coming in to weight train for your first time, you know?
That's awesome. And I
Yeah.
like that. And the reason why I'm asking that question is because of we're seeing, again, more and more gyms that are just copying and pasting.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They're just control C and
Yep.
just pasting, thinking that they're going to be able to replicate.
Yeah.
Right? And I stand with you when I say good luck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you might be able to do one or two things, but what it takes, the consistency,
Mm-hmm.
the discipline, the constant willingness to show up,
Yeah, the upkeep.
The
you know?
upkeep.
Jeez.
willing to say no again to even your personal life,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
To family events, to all these other things. It's
Yeah.
a massive sacrifice.
Yeah, and I also, again, like we know what we have and what we're willing to do. Me and my wife, we're the ones in here cleaning the gym, and I could easily hire somebody.
Yeah.
But to me, I feel, I always put myself in a member's position. And I think I would gain a lot of respect for my gym owner if I see him in here putting in the work, cleaning the restrooms. Like no job, I am above no job, bro. I will do anything in here if I'm
anything, do
capable of
everything.
doing it. Yeah, absolutely.
I respect that. And to this day, even us as the owners, we see a piece of trash. It is,
Oh, absolutely.
we need to be able to pick it up.
Yeah,
Like you said, no job is above us because ultimately the success and the failures are up to us.
Mm-hmm.
With that, interesting enough, I had this conversation yesterday with my business partner, William, because there's gyms opening up everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we have to consistently bring more value to our members
Yep.
simply because I get it. As the consumer, right? A new place opens up, a new restaurant opens up. You want to
Yeah.
go try it,
yep.
right? And if we fail in bringing an elevated experience to where we're going to be able to keep them,
Yeah,
then we lost them.
Yep.
We lost them to someone else because someone else is in fact bringing a completely new, exciting experience
Yeah.
consistently,
absolutely.
right? So with Revival Fitness for you, is that not only are you wanting to open up a new location, right? But what do you see yourself adding to your current location
So
to bring more additional value?
yeah, I think like, bro, equipment, bro.
Equipment?
Like, I'm an equipment like
Yeah.
fiend, you know. So
What do you see with the industry with the equipment?
what I have been seeing grow a lot currently is a lot of the new MegaMass stuff, and bro, their price points. I love it, and the durability on it.
That's why we have a couple pieces ourselves,
Exactly, yeah.
because I mean, trying
Bro,
to
you guys
keep
put me on Jim Lako. I was sleeping on that. Like, damn.
Jim Michael's crushing it.
Yeah.
Angel from Elevate in Miami,
Mm-hmm.
right? He just made a video talking a bit about Jim
Just
Michael.
seen
You
it.
saw that, right?
How it stayed like in good condition for years. That's insane. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
insane. Yep.
Yeah. And so no, they're pushing the envelope. They're definitely, ever since we started working with them and have the official partnership with them, it's been a game changer.
Yeah.
The amount of, when you went to Madhouse, the amount
Yeah.
of square footage is taking up, the
Yeah.
aesthetics, durability, functionality.
Yeah.
It's,
Absolutely. Yep.
So, where, in regards to equipment, so MegaMass, Jim Michael, are you currently working on a list, a Christmas list?
Bro, that thing is, yeah. But as freaking gym owners, the one problem we have is the freaking space, bro. Like, we know if we're gonna bring in something, we either
Something has to go.
yeah, something's got to go, or we gotta freaking puzzle things together.
Tetris.
You know? Yeah, Tetris. Yep, all day. And I don't want to lose the nice little layout we have. So it's one of those,
flow,
it's one of those
gym out,
battles, yeah. Because my old location, when you went in there, I'm
Yeah.
sure you saw it, shit was tight.
It was tight. I mean, you're working on top of someone in
Yeah.
a sense, right? Which now you have a little bit more. I like the pathways that lead to the restrooms.
Yeah,
Now, when it comes down to it, that's always a struggle for us,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Because
Yep.
we're gonna have to give up a little bit of space to rather make something a new layout, but then
Yeah.
that might change the flow.
And as like for myself speaking, I never thought that would be an issue. I always thought like, bro, who cares? Like, the more machines, the better.
Better
Then again, like that's why it's nice having my spouse to keep,
give you that.
to give me that feedback. Where like, nah, dude, a lot of people don't want to be working out like so tight next to
I
someone.
don't want to hear you grunting next to me over
Yeah,
here.
exactly. So I've, you kind of gotta like chew that one down. We're like, all right, we can't do this.
So let's talk about a little bit about the struggles behind the scenes, because when you move, right, the city gets involved.
Oh, bro. Yep.
So I've been seeing your posts the past couple of months, and you're
Yeah.
spending a lot of time in City Hall.
Yep.
So
It's like my second home sometimes. Shit.
talk to me about the struggles
Bro.
of the permitting process.
So I'm scared they're gonna watch this. I'm just kidding. No. But it's crazy because just my freaking luck. When I acquired my spot before this, it was very similar situation where it was zoned for gym use. Prior, it was a retail store, but we're zoned for gym use. So I'm like, cool, green flag,
light, let's go.
Let's go. All I had to do was go to building and planning. They had a double check. Yeah, dude, you're good. Just go to licensing, pay your fee, schedule an inspection. Boom, business license, green light. We're ready to go. Well, these guys passed a law like months after I got that spot that like not screwed everything up, but totally made it.
Delayed it?
Yeah, it totally is delaying the process here to acquire my business license, where now I have to hire an architect to draw up plans, permits for signage, permits for freaking lights, everything, bro. Even, I didn't even know this, but even if light fixtures already exist, but you replace them, you still need permits for that. Like, but I never look at this negatively. I just look at this as lessons to learn from for the next spot.
I would have to say, in just this conversation that we have, and obviously I do know you on a personal level somewhat, but this is why you're successful, because of how you choose to look at things. And someone else would complain about something,
Yeah.
or whether they give up. For
Yeah.
you, you're constantly saying, no, this is making me better. This is actually giving me a lesson to learn. I'm better for it, and so you welcome it,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Mindset. Where have you learned this? Like, tell me a little bit of who's inspired some of this type of mindset, because mindset's everything. But unfortunately, if you don't have the proper mindset, or you listen to other people's guidance, you will have a poor mindset.
Yeah.
So who give you this resilient
I
mindset?
think it's something that sadly I don't have like a mentor like teaching me these things, but it's something that I've sort of built in myself, and that's came through all of these struggles that I've overcame, where like I've ran on 3 hours of sleep for months, and what that's done is it's taught me like, yo, dude, you could do anything,
anything,
there's 24 hours in a day.
Doing
Use
difficult
every
things.
second wisely. You can do anything, and it's that resilience kind of comes through overcoming those struggles. The big ones, the little ones, and there's always like, yes, don't get me wrong, bro. There's times where you're gonna have those like, shit, dude, are you serious? Like, why does this have to happen to me right now?
Right.
But those are things that I switch the mindset. Be like, no, what is this teaching me? And that's something, again, I've just had to learn as I've gone, where like, okay, this situation sucks, accept that. But
nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, but let's move on. What is this going to teach me? How do we fix this? How does this get better? Things like that, this mindset is not something I was born with, bro. I was a shy, timid kid getting bullied all the time. Like, trust me, bro, it's something I had to build, and I had to build it the hard way.
I love that answer, and I love this because for the audience, the biggest takeaway that they can have from this is that you weren't born this way.
Absolutely.
It was learned, it was acquired. So
Yeah.
it's the biggest equalizer.
Yes.
And that's why I tell people in regards to discipline, right? you're not just born with it. It's something that you can, in fact, learn, apply,
Exactly. Yeah.
and thus anyone can acquire that type of skill set,
Yeah.
and it'll give them a result in a positive way.
Yep.
So this mindset that you've had to slowly build through every opportunity of
Yeah.
lessons.
And one thing I will say is I thank God for going through all these struggles, all these battles and these self-talks that I've had to overcome, because my son is exactly like me when I was a kid. He's little Juan, like reincarnated. And just yesterday, bro, I was in tears. I had to teach myself how to ride a bike. And yesterday it was like emotional. Like I had to freaking walk away and cry because I'm here teaching my son. And he wanted to give up like countless times, but he was also like, he had that little light still where like, I think I could do this, Dad. Like, let's keep trying. And he did have those moments where like, F this, like, you know, like this is,
frustration
yeah,
hit.
this is stupid. And,
I don't-
you know, yeah. And
I
I'm
have
like,
to learn how to ride a bike.
yeah. And I'm like, look, Caleb, I promise you. I literally told him this. I was like, dude, I promise you, you are going to be so proud of yourself because it's not when, it's not if, but it's when you learn how to ride this bike, you're gonna be super proud of yourself.
It's gonna be worth it.
Dude, this freaking hours later, when I finally let go of him and he's going, bro, like I see his face just
lit up.
light up and he's like, dude, like, and that is like everything, bro. That is what gives us that mindset where like, here's something that we've been struggling on. Yes, for him it was something little, you know, riding
No,
a bike.
but the situation
But
of it,
it's-
right?
yeah,
the bike,
absolutely.
The
Yeah.
bike, and others would be the business, that
Yes.
breakthrough.
Yeah, and to me, this is teaching him those things. Hey, dude, do not give
up.
up. No matter how tired you are, no matter how frustrated you are, do not give up. See this through.
And that's a beautiful thing that you're instilling that in him,
Mm-hmm.
because I do believe that giving up is a habit.
Yeah,
And winning can be a habit as long as you don't give up.
absolutely.
And too many times people give up too easily
Mm-hmm.
on the first time that they don't get it their way,
Yeah.
right? The first obstacle, the first, actual no, they give up.
Yep,
And they then give up on themselves with anything and everything else that they do.
yep.
And so you being able to give him that lesson, I'm 100% sure he's going to be able to use that as a reference for the rest of his life.
Yeah, bro.
As far as like, hey,
100%.
my dad said, don't give up on the bike, don't give up on my goals, don't give up on my dreams.
Yep.
The reason why I was looking down is I have some scars on my knees
Oh shit.
because when I was growing up, my dad was teaching me how to ride the bike.
Okay.
And I had that moment. I fell over, scraped my knee, and I said, I don't want to run, and I just gave up. And I
Yeah.
did. I ran home, and it wasn't until my grandmother actually calmed me down, grabbed the bike, took me to the park across the street, and then in less than 10 minutes, I was able to get it.
There you
I
go.
crashed into the tree, but I was able to start riding the
Yeah.
bike because of it. So it took me back. It was pretty nostalgic. So thank you for that.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome.
But that's awesome. I want to make sure that we'll close on that in regards to who you are today, your mindset, the resilience to be able to be where you are and have the successes wasn't something that was given. It wasn't something that you had with you. You've been able to acquire it. And that's a beautiful thing, because then it's the equalizer for anyone and everyone that is willing to stay on path
Yep.
and not give up,
Yeah.
right?
And just like your story, it is okay to get pissed off and quit at it for a little bit.
a step back.
Even myself, it brings me back too with my meal prep business. There was a point that I did give it up. I gave it up in the beginning, and I'm like, I also want to make that very clear as well, as like, just because you fall down and stay down for a little bit, don't stay down there, get your ass back up, dude. Like, but again, and it's those little self-talks,
We're gonna have to take punches.
Yeah,
You're gonna fall.
absolutely. Yep.
You're gonna fall. You're gonna make the mistakes.
Yeah.
You're gonna get your ass beat.
Yep. No, literally.
You don't lose until you quit,
Exactly. 100%.
because that L, that when you're knocked down, it's temporary.
Yep. Exactly.
It's not until you, in fact, stay down because you've officially quit
Yep.
that is when you've actually
Exactly.
lost.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So L's are temporary, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just a lesson.
And L's are lessons, 100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
So it's
Juan, so for the 15-year-old that's watching right now, what would be the piece of advice that you give him watching right now, saying, "Hey, I want to own a gym one day. I want to have my own space." What would you tell him right now?
dude, I want to say just if let's use opening up a gym one day is your dream. Let's first find out even if it is your dream, because maybe like us, we started with meal prep and then we transitioned to gym. And then who knows, maybe 5 years from now we transition to, I don't know, real estate.
Right.
So I want to say try all kinds of things. Maybe if you want to be a gym owner, learn what it's like to work a front desk at first. And don't ever think you're above something either. Learn, dude, go wash restrooms at a gym, That way you sort of learn things and kind of work your way up and see if that's really even something you want to do, Try to talk to people like me and you, go buy a day pass at our gyms. Try to pick our brains. We're more than welcome to, and start brainstorming, and if that truly is your dream, start envisioning it too. More than anything, start envisioning it and start learning what it takes, and just, again, don't be scared of trying and failing, because again, failures are lessons, and yes, try to learn from people. But if let's say we do want to gatekeep something, don't ever take that as a bad thing, because we might be doing someone a favor, not giving them everything in a silver platter. And that's something we've had to learn too. I'm sure you didn't have someone to, "Hey Arturo, this is what you're gonna do, bro. You're gonna buy this space, you're gonna buy these machines." No, bro, it's something you've had. Exactly. So sometimes not having someone is a huge thing in itself.
You touched on so many points when it comes down to the fact that we all start somewhere.
Yeah.
We didn't just get here.
Yeah.
It's been a journey.
Yeah.
And we've had to pivot. We ourselves had to make certain changes in our direction, because even with us, we never thought we were gonna have a meal prep company.
Yeah.
We never thought we were gonna have our own gym.
Yep.
The gyms, having our own gym, very much like yourself, having the backyard, it was the exact same thing.
Yep.
In our minds, it was like, man, if we had a personal space where we could just work out together,
Yeah.
and it breaks even, that's
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
How awesome is that going to be?
Yep.
And because we never did it for the money, we've been able to
Yeah.
make decisions
Yep.
that have gotten us to where we are today.
Bro, and that is huge too. I love that you said that, because I've always been passion driven, never money driven. Yes, we are businessmen and entrepreneurs. Who doesn't want to make money? But it's funny, dude. I never once, bro, I've done some crazy shit where I've spent money on machines that I was like, dude, I just spent my rent money. I don't know how the hell I'm going to pay my rent this month. I've done the craziest shit. And yeah, financially, not smart, But dude, it just, that's how passionate we are about these things. And again, I really hope our members see that and see that we're not just these douchey gym owners who want to drive nice cars and things like that. Another thing I'll say too is right now I even had to give up my car. I've been in my wife's car. We're struggling, but we're making it work. But these are sacrifices
behind it.
that people don't see sometimes, where I'm willing to give up my car, save on that payment. But it's these sacrifices where in order to chase this, you got to let some things go, And I know that what's in store for me in the long term is 100% worth it.
Like I said, I love what your response was, because even what you said, hey, if you think that this is what you want, then come pick our brain.
Yep.
Come work the summer job.
Yeah.
Clean the restrooms. Get a feel for everything that it takes.
Bro, if I could go back, I would work for fucking free, dude.
Yeah.
I would work for free just to get that knowledge, dude. Yeah. And a lot of people aren't willing to do that.
They're not willing to do that.
Yeah, they're not.
it's interesting because this new generation, and I have a lot of young kids that work for the companies that we've been able to start when it comes to Macrofit, Madhouse, and I mean we have an amazing team, but we've had to filter out certain kids that come and go, and they have a completely different sense of entitlement. And it's just like they think that the world owes them something.
Yeah, absolutely.
When it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I know.
So, whoever, little Juan that's out there watching this, I love the fact that you said that, you know what, like, maybe you think this is what you want, but you're not going to know until you actually put yourself in that situation.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So put yourself in that situation.
Yeah. And I think too, it's because people see the finished product. They see this.
They see this.
They don't see backyard gym. They don't see first 2,000 square foot location gym, you know? They see this and wow, that's nice. But 90% of the people would not last those first 5 years, you know? It's that struggle, it's those sacrifices, the mental toll it takes on us, bro.
The mental, the physical.
I've had
willing to
anxiety attacks, you know, it's insane, bro. But it's looking back though, all those things, I promise you, all those struggles, they do make you stronger now, 100%.
And interesting enough, they make us stronger. And I tell people, do it. Because even at the end of it all, let's assume you do fail. Let's assume it does go under. At the end of your life, what would you rather have? The story, the lessons, the experience of actually being able to say that you did it? Or the regret of, oh, I never did it.
There's a little, it's not a quote, but it's this like scenario. I heard it very, very early on like my entrepreneurship journey where I don't know where it was a little YouTube motivational video I was watching one day where the guy says, hey, look, let's picture one day you're in this cemetery full of gravestones, and all of these gravestones have Arturo, the successful surgeon, Arturo, the astronaut, Arturo, the real estate, king. Like, these are the graves of all the people that you could have been if you would have just taken that risk. And to me, that hit me so hard because I was like, hey, dude, when I die, I want to know that even if I failed at freaking everything, I want to at least know and die knowing I had the balls to try, And to me, dude, I thought of failing countless times, bro. Like, I'm like, shit, what if nobody orders meals this week? What if everyone cancels? But I will at least die happy knowing I tried these things, And look at where we are now, So fear is freaking the worst thing, dude. But that's the thing too, is we all have fears.
We all have fears.
I
tell all my clients, fear is a false emotion of being real. We all experience it. It's innate. It's a human reaction. It's what you do with it that's going to dictate your character.
Yep, absolutely.
Your future and the life that you have for yourself.
Yep.
So take action. That's why I always tell people, the universe does not reward potential, it rewards action. So you must take relentless, imperfect action.
Absolutely.
And you've done exactly that. Even when you, in the face of things not working your way, not knowing, life-threatening situations, you still took action.
Yep.
And that's why you will be successful today and continue to be successful down the road.
Absolutely.
Juan, thank you so much for your time, for your story. For those that are watching at home, this is the perfect example of someone that's had to rebuild their vision, their goals time and time again because they were willing to take that leap of faith, even in the face of uncertainty and risk. So when you're watching this, ask yourself, what do you want to accomplish? And be willing to work towards it, just like Juan has been able to do, and that's why he has Revival Fitness. Come check him out here in Santa Ana. He has his new location. He's going to outgrow this in no time. I know that, especially when you're coming out here and supporting his business. So the OC, come check it out. Juan, I wish you nothing but success in the coming up years.
Thank you.
Thank you again. And let's keep crushing it, brother.
Sweet.